on the air, and it's race day today in Alabama. Welcome to the one and only Talladega Superspeedway for the 6th race of the 2024 Mission BBQ Cup Series season, the Alabama 499. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, lads of all ages, as we welcome you to the track with live coverage on the North American Sim Racing Network and up in the NASRN booth. My name is Trey Wright. 47 laps are in order for today's race here at this 2.66 mile behemoth of a racing facility that needs absolutely zero introduction. The most legendary track in real life NASCAR, not in NR2003, that belongs to Thornton, but this one pretty darn close to it, coming into our 6th race of the season after our first off week. All these drivers getting an extra couple days here, buckle down, get their stuff figured out. Let's do some final minute adjustments on the cars because, oh boy, we have got one heck of a schedule upcoming in the next couple of weeks. Talladega, Nashville, Diamond Ridge, Chicagoland, and Willow Springs, the Southeast, the Midwest, and the West Coast in order for these next 5 weeks of action before we go into the Duncan Week of Speed. More on that later as we get closer to that. But that is then, this is now, and coming off of a race last Saturday night at Richmond that, of course, as usual, saw its fair share of chaos. It was a good race to start off. It looked like Danny Fallington was going to run away with the win, but a caution coming out under pit stops between Nathan Ormond and Will Parrish, stacking the field up, and then with 20 laps to go, a mechanical issue under the hood of the 16 car gave Alex Lozano his first career win in the Mission BBQ Cup Series. Lozano starts relatively deep in the field in the 28th spot, and it doesn't really matter where you start as long as you somehow are A, able to make it down to the inside, B, play the cycling perfectly, because these guys are going to be looking like the Tour de France out here with how much they cycle, and C, and the most important one, avoiding the big one. It's not a matter of if, but when, where, and how many cars it takes out. We'll go down to your point standings at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Braden Perez, with his top 10 finish at Richmond, takes the points lead away. John Andrews, who was in the running for the Indy 250 over on the AG, the channel, a couple of weeks ago, finds himself second in the point standings. Brandon Wilmington climbs up into the podium, so Pacific Racing first and third in the point standings right now. Riley Sampson and Skylar Taylor round out your top 5. Matthew Hubert climbs up a spot. Igor Barreto, with a less than desirable result at Richmond, finds himself 7th on the points. Zachary Fitzwater 8th, Alex San Vitale 9th, and Ethan Lewis, the Oklahoma native, rounding out your top 10 of the point standings. And if the chase were to start, it would be Alex Lozano and Tyler Reynolds, the two cars that would be making the wild card spot along with the top 10 in points. And Reynolds needs to have a good run here in the next 20 or so races. He just needs to stay above the top 30 in points, because right now he is 30th, so he is right at the danger zone. He does start 6th on the grid today, so have to see what he is able to do here. But absolutely anybody can win at the Talladega Superspeedway. We've had 3 races here in the MBS before and 1 race in the WAS. So hey, what do you say we crown ourselves a 5th champion here in Talladega? It's once again that time of the broadcast again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go down trackside to get the most famous words in motorsports to kick off the Alabama 499.
Drivers, start your engines.
The engines roar to life on the pit lane here at Dega. We're just moments away from dropping the green flag for today's race. Trey Smith starts on the pole position. It's an all Toyota front row at that. Caleb Rose to his outside. Row 2, Angel Gutierrez, his best starting position of the year so far. Starts alongside the 48 of Juan Rodriguez. Rodriguez's Buck Racing teammate of Tyler Reynolds starts behind him in the 6th spot. Rounding out the top 5, Ethan Lewis in the Barstool Sports Camry. Toyota making up half of this top 3 rows. They qualified well. They look for another super speedway win. As everybody rolls off, there's Cameron Garlington and Dano Georgi, 2 guys starting shotgun on the field in row 21. But I guarantee you, within probably about 5 or 6 laps, those guys are going to be fighting for the race lead. As the field goes down the back straightaway, let's go down to your race analysis. 47 laps around Talladega. Your pit window is 35 to 37 laps. The first time we're going to have pit stops here at Talladega, so single stop is in order. And your three previous winners here at Dega are Cole Sampson, Logan Williams, and Justin Zeidel. Sampson starts 36th, Williams 14th, and Zeidel in 20th. Those three guys were your winners in the MVCS, at least. Ryan Durrani won the race here in the Winston All-American Series back in February. He starts in the 29th spot in the 38. So as the field goes through turns 3 and 4, so many fans here, over 150,000 coming here today to watch this second super speedway race of the season for the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Pace car makes its way down the pit lane. These folks have waited all day in the hot Alabama sun, and it's all about a payoff. 42 cars will enter the race's restart zone, led by a couple of Toyotas, and get this shebang started. Trey Smith, Caleb Rose will lead the field through the race's restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Through the gears they go at Talladega. Didn't take long for them to go 3 wide already, as Ethan Lewis will go to the point for the moment. Through the tri-oval they go. It's going to be Bradley Ream down to the inside of the 7. And Ream, who started deep in the field in the 7th spot, will take the race lead here as they're already working on making it 4 wide. They are 4 wide, 2 rows deep. And this is a recipe for disaster going down the Alabama gang super stretch. Trey Smith did not get a good jump at all, as Danny Fallington leaning on the 16. Corey Case nearly going down below the yellow line. And it's going to get tight off of turn number 4. Batten down the hatches. Fallington gets turned by the 98 back, going up into the pack. A good save so far, and we're already seeing the chaos on lap 2. John Andrews in the 98. He's going to turn Davenport on the outside wall. As well going into it will be the 21, but they don't go around. No caution. And already, we need a Jimmy Johnson whoop heart rate monitor, because not even 5 miles into the race and we are already going bat-skibbity insane. And for the race lead, Matthew Hubert in the 75. And Charlie Davenport's competitive day will end early. Matt Wolf down to the inside of the flagship number 75 car. Dead heat at the line, guided by about a fender. That's going to split up this pack just a tad. There's still 3 by 3 wide, 5 rows deep. Stapleton thought about making it 4 wide. Wise decision to stay up in that high lane, but these guys getting really, really aggressive. In the span of 20 seconds, we saw 2 phenomenal saves. One out of Danny Fallington, and the other wasn't exactly a save, but they're able to keep it straight. Kudos to Charlie Davenport for not getting down low, as Corey Case will go to the race lead. 2 laps after nearly taking out the entire field. Now they start to get organized once again. Riley Sampson, your Rockingham winner, to the inside. Thomas Troxel, fresh off an owner win last Saturday night at Richmond, going to the point in the 00. Logan Williams won this race back in 2021. He's behind him. He'll make it 3 wide with Danny Fallington. Off of a good save 3 laps ago, he's in the catbird position to lead lap number 5 as the team And the cars, the drivers, will go 4 wide once again. Williams will lead this time by 4 wide again. Durrani's in the middle of that up ahead. It's going to be Braden Perez and Juan Rodriguez. 8 cars within inches of one another. And they're able to file it back down for now. Nathan Orman and Eric Monaco, the Chevy Power guys, teammates leaning on top of one another. They will go back down to 3 wide. Eric Monaco, I know he was pooping himself, and Owen Miles will get sucked back into 4 wide. Close once again. Gutierrez leaning on the 14 car. So Logan Williams will lead once again. They're not out of the woods yet. Troxel just trying to bail out of there. Orman and Sampson leaning on each other like a couple of drunk lovers at a bar, but they're able to keep it straight as Owen Miles continues to hemorrhage spots into 0-5. And like I said, up at the front of this field, it only took them 6 or 7 laps, but Dano Georgia and Cameron Garlington were fighting for the race lead. It'll be Alex Lozano looking for 2 wins in a row. Lozano and Matt Wolf racing to the start-finish line. Cameron Garlington's got to be careful about not going 4 wide. It was for a brief moment as Zachary Fitzwater will power his way to the front into the 99. And Dano Georgia making it 4 wide on the high side. He's just trying to bail out of there as fast as he can. Cole Sampson will go to the race lead. We're focusing on this 4 wide battle going into turn number 3. 4 wide in front of them again. Skylar Taylor bailing out of it. But she'll be on the high side of 4 wide as Orman washes up in 19 and into the outside wall. That will take the entire back end of the field out. At least 15 cars involved. A massive accident in turn 4. It looks like nobody with too much damage to be knocked out of this one. Bradley Reams snowplowed in the 36. I take that back. But they could only do 4 wide for so long. Danny Fallington destroyed. Dano Georgia, heavy damage in the 34. And the yellow flag has come out for the first time on lap number 8. I think Bradley Ream, he might be the only one knocked out of this race due to damage. And the 16 might be as well. I think we might only have 2 casualties from that accident. Surprising, given that was at least a 15-car pileup. Happened at the worst possible time. And a lot of guys with some sort of damage. Cole Sampson led the field back, and hello. Well, caution coming out at lap 8. They're going to come down at lap 9, and ladies and gentlemen, if this John stays green, we're going to see ourselves a good old-fashioned fuel mileage race. I doubt it will. Only going to be taking tires is the 5 of Cole Sampson. Some collisions on the pit road as a lot of guys doing gas and goes. Just trying to get to the end as much as they can. Collision. Oh, and a bad collision there between the 17 and the 00. Trey Smith will get out third. A lot of cars making contact. Nathan Orman, one of the cars caught up in that. Bradley Ream just trying to go to the garage area. And he will. I only see 2 cars teleport to the garage area after that. But nobody taking tires on that pit stop. It's actually going to be Alex Sanvitale. No, they're going to say Cole Sampson won the race off the pit lane. Or did he? We'll figure that out as Charlie Davenport stayed out. It looks like almost everybody is going to come off the pit lane. And we'll rack them up, send them off again, but a lot of these cars are going to have some damage. But as we figure out who the race leader will be, we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day. A massive accident going into the tri-oval off of turn number 4 bring the yellow flag out for the first time in the Alabama 499. So they could only do 4 wide for so much longer. Nathan Orman sliding up to the outside into the 19 and the 36, and one last hook on the right rear is a hard shot right into the outside wall for Bradley Ream. Tyler Reynolds ping-ponging around. 17 cars caught up in total. Both the American Motorsports cars junked. And mostly just everybody caught up in the smoke. Danny Fallington getting into the rear end of the 3 car. You can see that is a third of the field going by. So maybe, I'd say this is probably about a 20-car pileup. So about half the field getting some sort of damage in this crash. Most of it is just, I think, cosmetic damage. I don't think anybody should have too much damages. I'm surprised we didn't have more cars sliding up the track into oncoming traffic, as that's the 7 car. I'm surprised not a lot of these guys took tires either. I think Ethan Lewis bottom out or flat spotted his tires, but Tyler Reynolds is going to get knocked out of contention. Bradley Ream, we saw him teleport, so he's going to be knocked out of the race. Angel Gutierrez, he's able to drive away. I don't see a whole lot of damage on that 10 car, so he should be good to go. Same thing with Logan Alexander. Ryan Durrani's going to be done contention-wise. Same with Fitzwater and the 28 of Garlington. That is pretty much that. Most of this field able to drive away. In fact, everybody was able to drive away from the scene of the accident, so that is good. But Bradley Ream taking a hard shot to the outside wall. He definitely got the worst of it, and he's going to be finishing last here at Talladega. Following along with Bradley Ream in the 36 on the wrong place, wrong time, a 4 wide, and he got a lot of air underneath that 5 guys Chevrolet, and you see all the carnage there. It's mostly just consists of just cars spinning around. There's some damage on the passenger side of the 58, so Alexander not as good as I thought. Gutierrez's car looks as clean as a whistle, so I think he should be good to go. But we know for a fact that the 36 and the 16 both knocked out of this. It was a good start to the race for Bradley Ream. He led the first lap, but just wrong place, wrong time, and unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles early on in this race. Cole Sampson led them back to the start-finish line, but it's going to be Charlie Davenport staying out. And he, I believe, will be your race leader going back through the gears, albeit with a busted-up rear end. We'll see what these guys are able to do on the restart as we clean up caution number 1 on lap 8 of the Alabama 499. And we're back here for a brief moment. Will Parrish's day ends up in smoke. That 40 car grenaded going onto the back straightaway. We'll keep it locked here right now as Skylar Taylor also going to the garage area in the 15. I think she made contact on the pit lane with somebody. So it'll be 4 cars in the garage area. Parrish will join Taylor, Fallington, and the 36 of Bradley Ream, who was ultimately a valve issue that took out the 36. That car looked more like Mr. Plow that Homer Simpson would drive. A lot of damaged cars. The most damaged car right now is leading the race. We're going to get the 1 to go here, so while we trundle around, quickly going to explain the Duncan Week of Speed. It is 5 weeks away, albeit, but however, I just want to explain it in detail so everybody knows what's going on. So in lieu of NASCAR doing their own in-season tournament, Space Car gets the 1 to go signal. We'll go back to green flag racing in about 2.5 minutes. So NASCAR doing their own in-season tournament. We're going to see how it actually goes with our own in-season tournament. So with Duncan Week of Speed, it's 5 races. And the top 32 in points after the Druk Micronics 300K will be put into a bracket. And basically we're just going to have guys racing each other. There's a header issue that took out Will Parrish. So top 32 guys will race at the day race at Hillside. And those who advance will go to the Sweet 16 for the Hillside night race of the Hillside doubleheader. Then after that, we'll get the Elite 8 that race each other at Papyrus, then the Final 4 at Boston. And finally, it'll come down to 2 drivers at Coca-Cola. And it'll be the in-season tournament winner, and I haven't decided what the prize will be. It'll probably just be 10 bonus points. I don't know, maybe a gift card I'll send you. I don't know, still got to figure that out. But nonetheless, we're about to get back racing here on lap 12 of 47. 38 cars remaining on the racetrack. 37 of them are on the lead lap, with Roberto Crown Jr., that's what his name is, the only car off the pace, being caught up in that accident on lap 3. Didn't bring out the yellow flag. The man who got the worst damage in that, Charlie Davenport, is leading this race somehow. He's stayed out. He's got a busted up rear end. That is a soggy Waffle House rear bumper on that 98. He's got donuts on the passenger side of the Ford. Alexandre Vitale actually won the race off the pit lane, so he'll be your first guy to come to go through the race's restart zone that actually pit. Going to be an interesting restart here as they go back through the gears. Davenport, San Vitale, Wolf, Sampson, and Thompson, your top 5, going back through the green flag. Big lag spike there is already Matt Wolf making it 3 wide, and Charlie Davenport, I'm surprised he has been able to pull out in front of cars that are actually aerodynamic. And just as I say that, he's going to hold up this middle line. And Cole Sampson will go to the race lead in the 5 car. A lot of cars involved in that wreck. 20 cars. Actually, I believe it was 19 was the final count. And Charlie Davenport. Now Davenport will come down the pit lane. So will Thomas Troxel in the 00. And Davenport gets turned right in front of Caleb Rose. And another hard crash in the tri-oval. We're back onto the yellow flag there. And oh boy. Caleb Rose, the outside pole sitter, junked in the 32. And that was ugly. Oh my. Thomas Troxel in the 00. 17 caught up in it as well, and Caleb Rose had a good shot to win here today. Going back to his 2020 luck, unfortunately. Matthew Hubert looks like he's destroyed in the 75. Ethan Lewis with a front end that's ready for the dumpster. And we're back under the yellow flag here at Talladega. And I expect these cars, no, we're going to see some split strategy. Cole Sampson led them back to the stripe. But they should be able to mathematically make it to the end here. It'll be Trey Smith coming down just to top off on octane gas. Alexandre Vitale not willing to risk it either. And hey, you know what? You're going to be starting on the tail end of the field. There's not a whole lot of competitive cars left, so it's not really that big of a risk. It's more of a risk to stay out and try and gamble with the amount of fuel you got left in your car. But that number 1 pit stall right at the end of pit road for the 79. And they're going to fill that gas tank clear full of octane racing fuel. Smith will win the race off the pit lane. Gutierrez coming in, Braden Perez coming in, Riley Sampson coming in. Ethan Lewis is junked, so it does not matter. Fitzwater also coming in. I think it might be to repair damage. But that was about the most Dynaco is all mine crash that I've seen. Probably the most Dynaco's all mine crash I've seen since 2022, when Eric Monaco got dumped at Indianapolis by the 48 car. Cole Sampson leads. We got about maybe 20 competitive cars left in this pack. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the second caution of the day. A violent crash when a couple of cars tried to get on the pit lane, and it did not go well, to say the least. So this might not be Kevin LePage levels of incompetence, but it's pretty darn close to being up there. The 98 and the 00 of Troxel and Davenport coming down the pit lane, and Troxel just cannot get on the brakes in time. So is the 17 who's trying to come down the pit lane as well, but Troxel is going to turn the 98. Oh, Eric Monaco just getting out of the way in time, but Caleb Rose, the exact wrong place at the worst possible time, right in front. And I cannot believe that 98 did not go upside down. And it's the most NR2003 wreck, unfortunately. Dano Georgi and Ethan Lewis both getting into the 98. Mostly looking like just like a 5-car pileup, but definitely our most violent crash of the day so far. And Caleb Rose, who's just trying to play it safe, ends up getting snowplowed in that 32 and doing a good job of showing the folks at home the damage model of this SNG Cup 05 mod. But not the result he'd won. He's going to go in the garage area. A lot of heavy damage on that tide ride for sure. On board with Caleb Rose, his teammate on the outside. Really nothing you can do but hold on. Fitzwater actually got a piece, so that's why he was on the pit lane. See, Georgi is in it and coming to a rest. Nothing you can do there if you're Caleb Rose, and you get teleported to the pit lane. Probably the most violent accident we've seen Rose have in quite some time here in the NBCS. Following one more time with Thomas Troxel as he runs on the back end of the 98, and yeah, you're just, this is a hopeless situation if you're Caleb Rose. And same thing for Dano Georgi and Ethan Lewis, a couple of guys who had some really, really strong chances. It's pretty much almost every manufacturer caught up in that. Dodge was the lone survivor of that accident, and as far as I know, Dodge has all 5 of their cars still in this show. Actually, scratch that, Dodge was involved, so that was a whole manufacturer whammy. That took out a Chevy, a Ford, a Dodge, and a Toyota. Lordy, lordy, lordy. What a mess. But Cole Sampson led the field back, and he stayed out. Only 7 cars came down the pit lane to top off on fuel. So they're the ones who we know are good to go to the end. So it's going to turn to a good old-fashioned fuel mileage race if this thing goes caution-free, which it's likely not going to. But Cole Sampson will lead the field back through the gears when we come back after we clean up a violent second caution of the afternoon at Talladega. And we're back here at the Talladega Super Speedway cleaning up a violent second caution of the afternoon. And there's all the cars that were involved in that, taken out at least. 33 cars remain on the track, 32 of them are on the lead lap, and only about 10 or 15 don't have any damage. There will be Cole Sampson, Alex Lozano, Dylan Matthews, Justin Zidell, Toby Murphy, Keegan Thompson, Juan Rodriguez, Corey Case, Eric Monaco, and Brennan Wilmington. Your top 10 going back through the race's restart zone. Green flag is out in the Alabama air. 30 laps to go in the Alabama 499. Not even at the halfway point of this race, folks. That's Talladega for you. Cars that came down to top off: the 79, the 96, the 42, the 12, the 71, the 92, the 10, and the 24. And everybody else, we believe they should be able to make it to the end, but it's not certain. It's Cole Sampson with this pack heavily depleted. Only 3/4 of the field left in this race, and most everybody has some sort of damage. That's not going to stop him from nearly going 4 wide for a brief moment. So Logan Alexander will head down the pit lane, 4 wide in the back of the field. They're off Trackhouse cars. getting a little testy there. Ryan Durrani's holding up this inside lane, and coincidentally, it's all the guys who came down to top off that are being held up. So that'll split this pack into two for the time being. And the one car going to the number one position on the pylon, 3 wide, going off of turn 4, which has been Calamity Corner. Really just Calamity Shoot, or Calamity Straightaway has just been the shoot between turn 4 and the tri-oval. Keegan Thompson, going to the race lead, has never won on a super speedway in the MBCS. Looking to change that here today. And as quickly as he went to the race lead, he has fallen back along with Igor Barreto. That inside lane, a lot more uniform. That is a dominant line that is going to the race lead. 3 abreast. A Dodge, a Camry, and a Pontiac. Excuse me, a Ford. I wish we raced Pontiacs once again, as Logan Alexander is going to get lapped here in the next couple of moments. Juan Rodriguez in a Ford, not a Pontiac. We'll go to the race lead here. Alex Lozano right behind him, tucking back in third is Brennan Wilmington. Cole Sampson, able to utilize the draft. He'll go down to the inside. That 5 has been the strongest car so far today. Right now, closing in on the halfway point through this race is my pick to win. Logan Alexander holding up this inside lane. I don't think he's off the pace by too much. He's got a little bit of damage in that 58 car. He's holding up his team owner, who's in the middle lane right now. The outside lane now having to deal with this stricken 58 car as Juan Rodriguez has gone out to the point, but he's going to be a sitting duck in about 20 seconds. Track is clear in front of the leaders as they get around this 58 car, and scooting to the inside is Cole Sampson, the Australian, to the point. Brother Riley marred in the back. There he is, off the pace a little bit in the 24. Got a couple of nicks and bangs in that first accident on lap 8. It looks like a lot of drivers that came down the pit lane to top off starting to fall off a little bit. San Vitale, Collins, trying to find where that 79 is. Actually, there's a 79. Running up towards the front. Pole sitter trying to get back to that spot as Cole Sampson, going to the point, has led the most laps here so far today. We got 2 of those drivers who came in to top off right now in your top 10. Sampson, Lozano, and Smith. Trey Smith, the only one of that top 3 who has never won a race in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Cross flags halfway home through the Alabama 499. Trey Smith will push Alex Lozano to the race lead, and he's going to go to the point himself. Keegan Thompson right behind him. Side by side are a couple of Toyotas. Go through a full field rundown. As they cross through the tri-oval once again, ducking down to the inside is Owen Miles. But right now, as they cross the stripe, your top 10, Trey Smith, Owen Miles, Keegan Thompson, Dylan Matthews, Nathan Stapleton, Matt Wolf, Alex Lozano, Derek Hamill, Cole Sampson, and Juan Rodriguez, your top 10, 11th through 20th, Igor Barreto, Logan Williams still in the show in that 12th spot. Eric Monaco, Corey Case, Justin Zidell, your top 15. Toby Murphy, Cameron Garlington, John Andrews, Alex San Vitale, and somehow Thomas Troxel is still in this race, your top 20. Top half of the field. It's caboosed there by the 71 of Mitchell Collins. Then it's Brennan Wilmington, 12 car. Actually, Thomas Roxon will fall back as they start to get antsy towards the front. Dylan Matthews will go to the point. It'll be the 12 of Reggie Fogelman. Collins will fall back. You'll just go through the rest of the race order yourself as it's getting a lot of action towards the front of this field. Hamill will fall back. An outside lane, not the preferred line. That lower lane has been the dominant lane all day. And it's proved dividends for getting cars to the front, but the second you jump up high in that middle lane, you are going to be losing all your friends that have been building up behind you. 21 laps to go in the Alabama 499. We still don't know if these guys are able to make it to the end on fuel. They're able to do it on tires. Saw this in the Daytona 500. It was a one-stop race in the 500. They were able to just barely make it to the end. But here, your pit window, they can do about 37 laps. And last time these guys came in was with 37 to go, so they're going to be cutting it close, especially running in a pack like this. You know, it's a catch-22. Do you run behind somebody? Use a lot of fuel to go to the front, or you just try and play it safe like a lot of the guys in the back, and we're seeing a lot of guys starting to play it safe. Hey, Brandon Wilmington, an established super speedway racer, been in the back for the most of the day, was up at the front a little bit, but he's holding his cards close in that 62 car. But their backs are getting really aggressive up at the front of this field with less than 20 laps to go. It's going to get tight, boys. John Andrews, I don't know if he was blown up in the 44. He is a little bit off the pace. I thought I saw smoke coming out of the back of the double 4 car. He's all right for right now. Keegan Thompson to the point, trying to go to the moon. Looking for his first super speedway win. He's never won here at the big tracks. Trying to change that here today. Trey Smith just looking for his first win ever. He will lead this time by start lap number 30. 18 laps to go in the Alabama 499, and got a couple of separate packs here. A lot of damaged cars and a lot of guys that stayed out or came down, caught up behind. Fitzwater, Durrani. One of those guys is Braden Perez, so it doesn't look like he's got too much. I don't think he's got any damage. You know, he is running 2 seconds off the pace, so I'll give him that. Fogelman and Collins to the point. Both those cars trying to get their teams in victory lane for the first time in their iteration. And both these Titan Fury cars up at the front. Toby Murphy being in a Titan Fury sandwich. Dodge, Chevrolet, Ford, your top 5. And now they'll fan out, and Murphy is in a literal sandwich. Between the only 2 competitive Dodges left in this field. Collins will slip back on the outside lane. Scratch that. Logan Williams is still in this pack, albeit he's got some damage, but he's been able to stay up in the front. So we got 3 Dodges in this lead pack. And everybody else, either a Ford, Chevrolet, or Toyota. I think I'm only seeing about 2 Fords in this lead pack. For why they're able to get out of it before any shenanigans can incur. 3 Fords up in this front pack, and 2 of them are leading each lines. Tandem drafting between the 78 and the 5. And that'll boot scooting Boogie Zidell up to the front. Talladega, the site of his first win in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, looking to go back-to-back. Cole Sampson looking for his 2nd win at the formerly named Alabama International Motor Speedway. is go time for the time being. We got less than 15 laps to go, so I'd say maybe give it about 8 or 9 laps, and then it'll be crunch time, because you don't want to shoot your shot too early. I'm actually liking where a guy like Corey Case is sitting right now in terms of the draft. It's not as effective, so it's going to take a lot longer to get there with this smaller pack. We still could see another yellow flag here. There's a chaotic race in the loss, and it's been a costly race so far. So see where your favorite driver is running right now. 33 cars on the track, 31 of them on the lead lap, and everybody else in the garage area. Fast lap of the race right now, Toby Murphy in that 20 car, and he's being split 3 wide. It's been split a couple of different times this race. Over the last 5 laps, we've seen that 20 car in the middle of 3 abreast about 3 or 4 different times. Hamilton, New Jersey native, taking no prisoners, but he's going to slide up to the outside lane in that 20 car. 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide here at Talladega. 4 wide. Almost never works long term. And 1 car back out in front, Dylan Matthews looking for her first win. Fighting for the FMGTC points lead right now. GT Daytona, that series returning later on this month. On June 30th, they'll be up in Canada for the Canada Day Classic. And right after that, it's essentially a doubleheader for those guys. Because 5 days later, they'll be up in Watkins Glen on July 4th for the Firecracker at the Glen, the FMGTC. It's a busy couple of weeks for a lot of drivers in the field. Juan Rodriguez, another driver that does double duty. Same thing with Logan Alexander. Reggie Fogelman, who's fighting for the Le Mans point lead. Owen Miles as well. Miles, another one of those guys trying to get up in the points right now. They're not focusing on turn right and left in Canada. They are focusing on turning left on the 33-degree Bank Talladega Superspeedway in the Top Tier Series on the NASRN. 11 to go at the stripe. Justin Zeidel has been at the front for a lot of this race, and they're starting to pack it in like sardines. They're going to catch up to Nathan Norman before this is all said and done. They might catch up to this mini pack here before this race concludes. Trying to get to the back, and this pack back here might end up wrecking. Zeidel, that last time by, ran a 42.3. They're second off the pace. Coming around, they are 30 seconds off, and Alex Lozano on the high side. 4 wide. This could get messy going into the bottleneck. Matt Wolf's got to be careful not to lean that 28. Everybody back in here knowing every position counts. Fogelman getting a little arrow loose on the outside. He'll fall back in that Sunny D Chevrolet. And it's a complete grab of straws this top spot as Keegan Thompson will bail out in the 14. Less than 10 laps to go here at Talladega. Corey Case to the point. Cole Sampson now to the race lead. And Sampson's had this lead. It has been very hard to take it from him, but that is exactly what Toby Murphy will do now as Sampson moves high to protect the high line. 9 laps to go. They're really starting to cycle quickly now. Orman just now entering turn 3, and that's where this field is entering. This could be dangerous, and they're going to catch up to this 3 car going through the tri-oval. Heads up on the lap down car. Where does Orman go? He's going to stick down low. Coming up on the back end is Igor Barreto. He'll get around on the outside lane. They are really stuffing it in tightly. Cole Sampson got out of there at the last possible second. Orman holding up that bottom lane, headed by Derek Hamill, trying to get around. 8 laps to go. They'll get around the 3 car as he transitions back up high. 3 car breakaway for the race lead, but this pack is definitely going to catch up to the second one. Barretto, Stapleton, and Murphy, 3 cars breaking away for the time being. Here comes Derek Hamill, a boatload of steam. Peeking out to his high lane, no. Protecting back down low is Trey Smith. 7 to go as Barretto leads at the stripe. Murphy now to the inside of Stapleton for the penultimate position. That'll strand the big Staple as... Holy, the momentum coming from the rest of this pack. Single file enveloping on these cars. That'll swallow up Nathan Stapleton. Hamill setting his sights on that 20 car. He'll block down low right before the 4 car takes that hole away. It's still anybody's race right now. I'd say anybody in this top 10 has a solid chance of winning this race. So I don't think they're going to get this pack reformed in time. And I don't know if they're going to catch up. These top guys running single file right now. Still have the threat of a caution. Again, we do have the green-white checkered in our back pockets. If anything were to happen with less than 3 laps to go, with more than 2 laps to go, if they take the popsicle sticks in the air, that'll be the end of the race. Through the tri-oval for the 42nd time. 5, count 'em, 5 laps to go for Igor Barretto, trying to weather the storm. All bets are off, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be another classic Talladega finish. We have no idea who's going to end up winning this race. 5 to go. Unless these guys get really squabbly up here, I don't see this lead pack catching up in just this short amount of time. 35 seconds off. They're still 7 seconds away. Well, we'll see what it is. Yeah, they're closing in a second a lap, and we got 4 to go here. So they're not going to catch up to them in time, so it is a clean racetrack to the end. They may catch up to this 58 if he's slow enough. They might catch up to Logan Alexander. There's still the threat of a wreck as Barretto will go high. Dylan Matthews back to the race lead. Oh, they lost a lot of time and they're in frame. Hold on. At the stripe, they lost 2 seconds that time by. Oh, this lead pack's a-coming. 3 to go. You got your legs bouncing if you're a team owner. If you're an owner driver, you are just trying to get to the end of this race. They're getting back single file. They're training just a little bit. Cole Sampson back to the front. Owen Miles in the 05. Trying to get back into this battle, but he is on the outside lane. I'm liking where Cole Sampson is. He's been the dominant car all day long, but he may have peaked a little too soon. They're going to catch this second pack probably right at the checkered flag. Popsicle sticks in the air, 2 laps to go. We're at the point of no return. Cole Sampson to the race lead. It might be a little too early, and it is. Matt Wolf will go to the inside, and they are going to catch up to these lap down cars probably at the white. Corey Case up to 3rd. Mitchell Collins, 3rd car in that inside lane. Juan Rodriguez, he's wanted a super speedway before. He knows how to get it done. 3 miles to go as I go through the tri-oval. White flag in the air one more time around the Talladega Superspeedway. Matt Wolff leading this time by. Will he be leading when they come back around? 4 wide for 10th. Doesn't matter anymore. Braden Perez, the first one on the chopping block. Down low goes Collins. No, he tucks back high. Fogelman down to the inside. Rodriguez up there. It might be all she wrote. Matt Wolff looking for his first win of the season as they are going to catch this lap down pack. He's going to go to the outside. Collins will go to the inside. It's going to be a photo finish at the line. They're going to get held up. That was not the play for it. Checkered flag in the air. Matt Wolff weathers the storm and is going to Gatorade victory lane at Talladega. And that was a last-second brain fart by the 71. You know, you figure that you'll have the draft down low, and Braden Perez just slowing him up at the worst possible time, and Matt Wolff utilizing that clean air, and I don't know, that might be the first time that the leader at the white has taken the checkered flag. 4th career win for Matt Wolff, if I'm not mistaken. 3rd career, actually. He won at both Michigan and Milwaukee last year. And now you can add a Talladega win to his resume. Good job getting Full Frontal Motorsports back into the W column. Take a look at your official standings. Matt Wolff going to Gatorade victory lane here today. Mitchell Collins had an opportunity, but just chose the worst possible time to go down. And there's not much you can do there. It's a split-second decision, and unfortunately he chose wrong, but he still ends up with a 2nd place finish. Juan Rodriguez rounds out your podium. Reggie Fogelman, good recovery for him. And hey, all those guys were able to make it at the end. And one of the guys who came down, you know, top 2 cars came down the pit lane to top off, and I guess that was the play. Because, you know, you had house money going down. But anyway, Reggie Fogelman, Alex Lozano round out your top 5. A pair of good races for Alex Lozano. That's going to shoot him up in the points. Igor Barreto, Derek Hamill, Eric Monaco, Alex Sanvitale, and Nathan Stapleton, your top 10. Take a look at everybody off the lead lap. 28 cars finished the race on the lead lap. 33 total. And 8 cars in the garage area. Hey, making 9 cars, actually. I can't math correctly. What a race. What a race. What a race. And another good finish here. Not the closest finish we've seen at Talladega, but a good finish nonetheless is Matt Wolff. 3rd career win, 1st on the season. It's a good win there for the New York native. Hey, the New York Rangers right now, at the time of recording this, they're still in the playoffs. And he's got to be feeling good. Hey, if they're in the Stanley Cup final, which the way that they played last night, they probably are. But hey, Matt Wolff, happy camper. Nonetheless, he's going to victory lane here at Talladega. Only leading 3 laps today, but the last one was the most important one. That's the one that gets you to victory lane here. But that's going to do it here from the Talladega Superspeedway. Congratulations once again to Matt Wolff for winning the Alabama 499. And we'll see you in a couple of days for the next week in the Volunteer State, starting Wednesday night, June 12th for the FedEx 400, our only new track this season, under the lights of the Nashville Superspeedway. Coverage starting at 8 p.m. from Nashville. And then that Saturday afternoon, the Cracker Barrel Volunteer 500 from Diamond Ridge. So we're in the Volunteer State for all of next week. And I know Dustin Davis nor Zachary Davis are still in the league, so we got a couple of Tennessee boys in this series, I believe so. But nonetheless, we're going to be in Tennessee for the next week, with the next race being Wednesday night at 8 p.m. at the Nashville Superspeedway, right here on the NASRN Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Here are your point standings after Race 6 of the 2024 Mission Barbecue Cup Series season. And from Talladega, Alabama, on behalf of the North American Sim Racing Network, my name is Trey Wright. Have a great night, folks.